guys, welcome back to Diary of the Law. It's really a pleasure to be here again. Hi guys. Hi. To our old and our new subscribers alike, welcome. This is Diary of the Law. So I brought a legal dilemma to this table. You have said you have found love of your life and you love her. But there's a small problem. She's slightly married. Scratch that. She's very married. But still, you are going to marry her in the Korea registry. Now they want to arrest you and you are calling Diary of the Law. Don't worry, we got you. This precarious situation you're in is called bigamy. So what's going about bigamy? So bigamy is an offense committed. It's actually a crime. Let me just put that out there. Yeah, it's a crime. So bigamy is an offense committed where a person who has legally married a husband or a wife then goes ahead to marry another person while still legally married to the other person in question. So let's put this like this here. You have married Shola, right? So you married Shola in 2019, but then you fell in love with Ngozi in 2024. And so while still married to Shola, you went ahead to marry Ngozi in 2026. And now you are liable for the offense of bigamy. Yes, that's basically it. So when a person contracts another marriage while the existing marriage is still subsisting, then the offense of bigamy that it says have been committed. And the offense of bigamy is provided for in section 370. Section what? 370 of the Criminal Code. Like I always say, the criminal code is applicable in the southern states of Nigeria, so that includes Lagos, Ogun State, Osun, the southern states basically, and then the penal code is applicable in the northern states of Nigeria. The penal code provides in section 384 of the penal code that bigamy is criminalized. So bigamy in its entirety is basically an offense that ensures that while a marriage is still subsisting, the other party, one of the parties, cannot go ahead and marry another person. So this applies to both men and women. And so as a woman, you cannot marry somebody else while your existing husband is still well alive and the marriage still exists. You have not dissolved the marriage yet in the court. And it also applies to men in the sense that men are not to marry another wife while their first marriage is subsisting if they have married the wife under a statutory marriage. So statutory marriage is basically what you call court marriage, but it's actually not called court marriage. That's not the correct thing. It's actually called statutory marriage. So that's where you go to the registry and then they sign, they give you a marriage certificate and all that, all those legal procedure that you undergo when you want to marry somebody. That is statutory marriage. However, the Nigerian law still recognizes other types of marriage. It recognizes customary marriages. It also recognizes Islamic marriages. So while other types of marriages, that's Islamic as well as the customary marriage, allows for polygamy, statutory marriage is monogamous in nature. And so if you marry somebody, if simply you took palm wine and all those things to the person's village and all that, you can marry somebody else. However, if you took the person to court and then perhaps you did marriage in a church and they gave you a marriage certificate, then in that particular situation you must remain monogamous. But then if your wife or your husband is bothering your life and you are exhausted with the marriage, you no longer want to engage in the marriage, the appropriate thing to do is to dissolve the marriage in the court. So ask your lawyer to help you to dissolve the marriage, and then you go through a whole divorce process, after which you can now marry the love of your life. But it is compulsory that you must dissolve the marriage first before you undergo any form of subsequent marriages. However, there's a bit of a gray. There's a bit of a gray here. And the gray is that if you are married to somebody that has been missing for more than 7 years, a period of 7 years, the Evidence Act in Section 164 provides that there is a presumption of death in that case. If you just put somebody for 7 years you don't know what person is, you have no idea of their whereabouts, no communication has been established for the past 7 years. In the court's mind, the court has presumed that person is deceased. And so in that particular situation, that area where the person you're married to legally has a presumption of death, then you can, in that case, marry somebody else without formally divorcing the other party. So basically, yeah, that's what bigamy is about. It's quite a short topic, but it's actually a crime, and that's section 370 of the Criminal Code and 384 of the Penal Code. Bigamy is punishable by 7 years imprisonment. 7 years. And so yeah, you can fall in love all you want. However, you must ensure that you fall in love within the ambits of the law. I'll see you guys in the next video. So yeah guys, that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay legal and stay safe, please. Bye.
From your sweetest touch, I wouldn't run.